is the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and Krissy Vann. That's me. And we're taking you on a little off-roading.
And every single week, we're going to be joined by our dope friend, Richelle from True Grit Moto.
Woo! Hey, I floss.
And every week, we are going to ask each other stupid questions, and we're going to answer them. And why, you may ask? Because we can. All right, this is your Motovation
Off-road edition.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good, except for some reason, I didn't realize that you wore glasses ever, Laurie.
So, because I've never worn glasses before, I just got the eye test, and I haven't got my eyes checked in like 20 some years.
Whoa, well, I guess that's good. You were like, everything's fine.
Yeah. And it's funny because I was like, how often should you get your eyes checked? She was like, oh, every about 2 years. I was like, oh, mine's like 20 plus. She was like, oh, God. Okay. I was like, yeah.
Because friends, it's not just for vision. There's a lot of disease that they check for. Continue.
Oh, good to know.
Good plug-in.
Yeah. So I covered the one eye. You do the thing. And I was like, very blurry. I can't read what that is. It was like the first time that I realized that I do have a bit of a blur, but it's like close-up stuff. So like reading but here's the thing. Most people have been trying to avoid glasses. I worked very hard to get glasses as a young kid. I wanted them so bad. I lied to the eye doctor, pretended I couldn't see at all. He's like, well, she's either blind or she's a liar.
I wanted them too, but I needed them, sadly.
Oh.
But I was stoked. I understand the thrill. I was like,
100%.
Yes.
And then obviously I got the most subtle ones you could find. And so,
they look fantastic on you,
honestly.
My friend. You look gorge.
But these are your readers.
These are readers or close up. Yeah. So I won't need them for distance or driving or
you don't have one of those
that.
X's on your license like I do. That's
nope.
Wait a minute. What's the X? What's the X?
I got pulled over without contacts or glasses, I don't know actually what the repercussion is. Points, fine, license revoke. It's basically you are not allowed to operate machinery a vehicle with four wheels unless you have vision, which I'm like, that's common sense.
Yeah,
seems like a good thing to have.
It also means that she's a predator.
Gotta stay away from
X means she's
also, yeah. It's also pretty damning business.
Missed your face. I mean, I'm not used to it with the are those silicone eye?
Yeah. What is happening there?
I must.
It's
supposed to be the new Botox.
It is the new Botox. It's like there's that cream or whatever that comes with them, right? And they get rid of the under eye stuff. I have my whole morning regime. Y'all know this. I like to get myself a little collagen. I like to have my coffee. I've also been sprucing up microdosing the micro mushrooms like the lion's mane and is it psilocybin or whatever it is?
Yeah.
If you're putting it in your body, you should know the name.
I should probably know the name.
Someone said to me the other day, how many milligrams? Because I was saying I take caffeine pills. How many milligrams? I was like, I don't know. I should really look into that because I'm putting it in my body every day. And I just was like, caffeine pill instead of coffee. Dude.
Well, I was curious when you were saying the small mushrooms, because when you started in lion's mane, I know there's so many supplement wise that are incredible. And then you added psilocybin in there, which also obviously can be incredible, but that's the psychoactive. But obviously you're doing what's your stack?
It's okay, here's what it is. Here's the stack. I find that it's very important. It's also an immune booster. You know what I mean?
Definitely. And my God, the research in mushrooms could save the world, in all capacities. They're unbelievable.
They are unbelievable. And I think I was, okay. So here's the thing. I was nervous about it at the beginning of I want to say 2-3 years ago. I would never have thought I would have been putting this stuff in my coffee. And then, someone close to me got sick and I figured out that mushrooms actually are a huge thing towards brain cancer. And I was so I had done all this research and I was like, why am I so scared of something that is actually saving lives on so many different levels? So I went to Corridas, this place on Commercial, and they're so kind in there. And I asked all these questions and I was like, what's something that would be good to have every day that just helps my body with immunities and with, antioxidants, just certain things that would be good for also maybe even anti-aging a little bit. And she recommended this 5 mushroom synergy, and it's got, chaga, reishi, cordyceps, turkey's tail, and lion's mane.
Nice. So no psilocybin. See, there's
not
big difference.
There's not in this one. That the one that I thought was psilocybin was cordyceps.
Is it a real lion's mane? Is that a naive question?
Lion's mane mushrooms.
Lion's mane mushrooms.
Is it made from a lion's mane?
Absolutely. It's the mold that comes off its fur and basically crystallizes and forms a mushroom.
They're not killing lions for this though, right?
She's lying to you right now. I can see it in her blind little eyes.
I fell for what are these use are these glasses if I can't see sarcasm?
They're broken
for a minute. Like, even I knew that was wrong, and she almost had me.
I was looking at Richelle.
Don't make me cry with these on, okay? They're a one-time hit. So yes, I put a little bit in my coffee every morning.
You know what I like is that we didn't even ask a question, but we've sort of been talking about our morning routines. I feel like it was like an accidental off-road, all stemming from your spectacles.
And my testicles and watch. Have you ever heard that saying?
Yep. Spectacles, testicles, wallets, and watch.
Yeah, Dave would say it every time we'd walk out the door, and I was like, what would be the female version?
Chesticles.
Spectacles.
Vulvesticles.
Vulva and watch.
I love it.
Spectacles, chesticles, vulva, and watch.
There we go.
I'm going to say
Heard it here first. We're going to patent it.
Wait, what about our wallet though?
Oh yeah. Well, I actually carry a wallet more than
you've got a vulva.
Yeah, exactly. I just shove it up my vulva.
Shove it right in there.
Just tuck it on in there.
Got it.
Only meaning to coin purse. I love it.
Okay.
I love you guys.
Love you.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first? Who wants to go second, technically? Because we've already got cracking.
We did.
So I actually saw one this morning that came up, and then I was like, well, we'll just throw it out there and ask it.
Okay.
You've been kidnapped.
Oh, Lord.
Your kidnappers allow you to keep posting on social media to pretend everything's all right.
Right.
What would you post that would alarm your followers without the kidnappers knowing you're asking for help?
Oh, I'd post every day. They'd know something was up for sure.
I'd post that I'm single.
I'd post I'm not here, guys. I'm in my swimming race.
Yeah, yes, Krissy would not post. I would post, and you would post that you were single. Everyone would know immediately.
Everyone would know. They'd be like,
alarm
danger.
Bells. Yeah, some is fucking off.
Danger.
Yeah.
What's going on here? There was that alarm for those kids that went missing yesterday on the phone.
Yes.
You know how that goes off?
Yes. Yeah. Still going. I think like it's still not that it's a great thing that it's happened at all, obviously, but I always get relieved when they're at least with one of, especially a mother to some extent. Like there's just a slight like
they haven't been sex trafficked.
Yeah. Yes. Like that's like, like random dude has seen and taken them. It horrific, but at the least, if obviously they're not in a completely safe, or this wouldn't be taking place, but it is their own mother at the very, very least. So there's at least
there's a trail to follow. Like if you're an investigator, it's going to be a lot easier to figure it out.
And that,
random.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Turn.
That took a real dark turn.
It did. I love that we were on the answer on that one.
I'll give you a fun fact that those Amber Alerts that like and like the system connected in your phone was courtesy of a company that I used to work for, Palmerex Media. It's like where the epicenter of our emergency alert system is, and it was a really fucking big deal when that launched.
Yeah,
wow.
We had a party.
Oh, that kind of a big deal. They're like saving lives.
Well, it was like, we're saving lives. Well, for them, they're like,
we had balloons.
It was probably a huge government contract. Let's be real.
Yeah, they were they were zero concerned. Well, slightly, but not big time.
Yeah.
It was a smart idea, honestly. Everybody gets the same signal at the same time. It's better than shutting down borders. Everybody's like on alert and people want to be heroes. Let's be honest.
Well, I was in the gym and it was like everybody stopped their workout at the same time because all our earphones just went like.
Yeah, I guess so. I haven't been in a place where it's like more than one people when it's gone off. It
was entertaining. I was like,
more than one people. More than one people.
More than one people.
This is always the greatest version of us is in the morning.
7:30 a.m.
Brain's still kicking in for the day. Also, I slept 10 hours, you guys. I went to bed at 8 p.m. out cold. I couldn't even keep myself awake by 7. It was just like those days where you're just like work days are just like boof, 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 boof. And I slept every day. I need like 10 hour sleeps after those ones. Too many in a row. And I took my alarm off because I was like, I need to see how much sleep I actually need. Yeah. And I woke up at like, I think it was like just after 6 or something. And I was like, 10 hours. Amen.
I did that so Sunday, rare. But I'd been in the sun all day on a boat, day drinking. So it was like 7:30 and I was like, yep. I just looked at Gav and I was like, I'm just going to have to power it down now. And that's my life choice.
Yeah.
And my Monday started off on such a beautiful, like I was so well rested. I was up at 5, like just like, hello world.
Anyone that's a parent right now is like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
In
fuck
a big
you guys
way.
All.
Like,
I hate you.
You just like, oh, it's pretty tired at 8. I just like called it in or 7:30. And then I just slept 10 hours and woke up when I like shut off my alarm. And then you're like, I was like on a boat day and I was like drinking. And then I just was like, good night. People, kids are just like, I'm officially no longer a listener. I'm done.
Yeah. I'm out. You guys suck.
Yeah, like, To be fair, I'm sure they had fun weekends too, and they'll sleep when their kids are off to university.
They're gonna have such a good time.
Yeah.
Or I'm jealous. I would love a little spud that I can't go to sleep too.
Although in fairness, my dog did wake me up last night. I get different, but we had an incident where we let her try honeydew melon. I did Google it is safe for dogs, but bulldogs have sensitive tummies. And so all went well with the ingestion of honeydew melon. And then in the middle of the night, I heard the little like, so I had to take her out at like 2 a.m.
Oh, but she didn't like Poughkeepsie on the floor.
Oh no, she would never. But like
you had to get out of bed, put clothes on, walk outside of your apartment into the fresh air, and then back in and then try and go back to sleep?
Correct.
Wow.
Amazing.
So, it's almost like having a baby.
Almost. Yeah, it is. It is technically.
Well, no, it's not technically. I promise you, working with kids, it's nothing like having a child actually, but that counts as a wakeful disruption. But it's not even, I promise you, remotely as challenging or demanding or the sacrifices.
I heard, woo, woo. And I had to get up.
Yeah. To be honest, first I heard, and then I was like, maybe she's just going to go back and it'll be fine.
And then
just ignore this for a bit.
I had a quiet walk outside, quiet walk back inside.
My friend sent me a video.
And she curled right back to bed and snuggled in my arms.
Boom.
Oh, those baby watch things where you can see the kid in their crib?
Yeah.
My friend sent me a video of her kid like literally scooting the crib across the ground like this. And then you see them in their own bedroom and she just sits up and she goes, shut. The kid lays down. Oh, it's so good.
Like, busted.
It's so busted. You're so busted. It was
you should set that to some like rave music.
Yeah.
Oh,
like I feel like videos like that with the appropriate tunes, instant gold.
Love it.
Yeah.
Actually, Gav, this is a huge digression, but captured a video that I've yet to post yet because I haven't found the sound. His Van City Posty TikTok account. I've gone quiet because I'm like, I can't manage like 8 social media accounts.
Yeah.
And I do need to revive it because he caught 2 squirrels fucking.
Oh, right. That
and
one.
And the face on the squirrel as he it's so, I was dead. Like the minute I opened it, I was like, oh, Gav. I'm like, this is incredible.
I got to see it.
Yeah, I will send it.
Post.
Fabulous.
I haven't
was like, it
seen
needs
it already.
the right music. I'll know when it's time. I'll know.
I'll know when it's time. When I'm kidnapped. That's what I'll post. That's how you'll know. Oh God.
Squirrel hump.
Squirrels are
Come save
fucking.
me.
Krissy's in trouble. That's her bat signal is squirrels humping.
It looks and it's like,
No way.
oh, I'll send it to you.
That's how Richelle looks.
That is, yeah.
That's Rochelle's own
My busted
face.
sex face is terrible.
All right. I've got one. If you could invent a holiday that was like as global as, let's say, Christmas, that kind of holiday, what would it be, and what would it look like for the public to celebrate it?
Instantly, I know. And I didn't even send this like in advance, but as you said the words, I was like, clearly mine would be Disco Day. So I don't know whether it would have to be like when Stayin' Alive came out, like an anniversary of a really notable song would be the date so that it's a natural choice. And clearly the people would be encouraged to decorate their homes with disco balls in advance, like very Christmas-esque, a bit of a commercialized lead up. And instead of Christmas dinners, it's families or friends get together and they dance disco.
Gotcha.
Oh I love it. I love it.
Okay.
Disco Day? I mean, like that's really hard to follow because I love disco.
Too.
I really do love disco. I think if I was to request a holiday, I would request it to be a whole week, and it would be literally just called holiday, where you just don't go to work. Like everybody, you guys, holiday's coming. It's outside.
Don't go to work. That's how you celebrate it. You just don't go to work.
You just don't go to work. You celebrate it. It's outside of holidays, so you still gotta get paid for it. It's a paid thing.
Oh, okay.
And it's outside of everything. It's almost like being anywhere but literally Canada. I'm pretty sure.
I was just gonna say, I was like, there's certain countries where things just shut down.
Just shut down, and they just shut it down, almost like COVID all over again, but not COVID.
Yeah, they actually would be better off if they did something like that. I just had this conversation because I interviewed this woman that has come up with this brilliant idea. Like, obviously, Zumba, any of like these big formats in fitness that like are very notable household names. She's basically just trademarked and come up with one. And I feel like I'm like, this could be the next Zumba kind of thing. And when we were talking about when she came up with the idea, of course, it percolated during COVID. And I've had so many conversations with people with their creative inner thing came to life during that time. And it's because you actually had the time and space to be quiet. Listen without the pressures of, I mean, I shouldn't say that. There were many people that were worried about their financial stability, but neither here nor there.
But
you're forced to do it though.
For those that actually were able to have space and time and, the creativity comes. There's so much growth. Like kids, whenever we go on like spring break or those kinds of things at school time, it was incredible how many kids came back and suddenly like they had growth spurts. There was a maturity about them. Language had taken this big leap forward, all these different things. And it always happened when there was that break in between when they had time to really digest what they had learned in all those months and all the busyness and all those things. Kind of like sleep, right? When your brain's taking the information and actually sifting through it. And
what a cool computer we have.
Right?
Truly. I love it. Laurie, what's yours?
Okay. So my holiday would be Play Day. And so everybody, and I would have it on like right when spring kind of hits, when everybody's already a little restless and excited. And so like neighborhoods would organize different things. Like, how you had Play Day at school, the last day of school.
Oh yeah.
So it's like last day of winter kind of thing. And you would have communities and everyone would organize all these different events and all the adults had to participate. Obviously the kids are going to participate, but everywhere is Play Day. So that's the day everybody has to go out and play and do things that are only play. And if you don't participate, wow, how do you sit on your sofa when there is all these adults playing outside? You wouldn't. You'd be like, I'm going to give it a try.
You got to give it a
But
try.
that would be a busy day for the emergency room, all the adults that never play. And then they're
100%.
like, woo, full send. So shout out to our healthcare heroes. You're going to be busy on play day.
No, they're playing too. You just got to sit with the pain because tomorrow they'll come get you and help you out. But today they are playing.
It reminds me of a holiday that they have in Norway called 17. Mai. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
It's literally in Norway. There's a day where they only eat ice cream and they have to follow it. Like every Norwegian eats ice cream and only ice cream for that day. Moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas.
That sounds like my dream.
17 Mai. Because I dated somebody that was Norwegian for like 6 years. And literally it was like ice cream. What kind of ice cream are we having today? Like I was so sick. But now they've got a lot more ice cream options out there too. It doesn't have to be full dairy. You can go crazy on it. You get whatever you want. You get things that are like, sandwiches with ice cream in it. You get anything. It's so, the world is your oyster. But that's what it reminds me of is if you're going to be out there playing all day for Laurie's holiday.
May 17th. It translates to ice cream bonanza.
Yes. 17 Mai. Ice cream bonanza, May 17th.
Oh, okay.
I was like, is this for real? And they were like,
it's also the day Norway declared independence as a kingdom. So
they're so playful.
Ice cream. There you go.
They're so playful. Bless them.
Waffles as well are enjoyed at the time. I'm going to stop now, but let's all move to Norway.
Waffles are also part of the thing. Okay. If you guys could be one age for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh, I think this age.
I was going to literally say the same thing. The age I'm at. I'm having a pretty fucking good time.
Because I'm like, there's some wisdom there that, it took a long time to get to. That's maybe just step into like really appreciating life and having more fulfillment and quality and, diving so much more into experience than things, which like to my 20s was more, not completely, but it definitely, had more to do with like accumulation. But also I'm not like, my body's one of the healthiest it's ever been. Everything's working. So I'm like, I would freeze it right here at 39.
Nice. It's a tough one for me because I feel like I celebrate like every age that I get the gift to be. And I'm always like, this is the year and this is the year. So it's like in their own right. Like I almost am curious. I'm like, I don't know, like 42 for some reason comes to mind, but I have not lived it yet. But I'm just like, I meet people in their early 40s and when I entered my 30s, I knew I was like, 30s are going to be fucking fun. Like, I don't know why. I think it was just knowing, like, I know myself. And also I was like, generally you have like a little bit more financial wiggle room. Like you're a little bit more stable than when you begin in your 20s. Like you've learned some lessons in that realm as well. But then I was like, 40s also seem like they'd be super fun. Like your level of I don't give a fuck just seems to just keep going and going. Yes. And I'm like accumulating. So this 30s have been such a like decade of learning. I'm like, so I'm going to go with 42, even though I've not experienced it yet.
I hope hormones on that don't lower side
because my body is freaking quite a bit at 36. And so I don't want to go too high in the 40s. Right? I feel like that might be painful.
We don't want to go too far. I feel like even now at 35, like it didn't used to happen before, but I'd like get up and I'm pretty sure I pee myself.
But oh my God, I just had this conversation with someone. When I went home, two of my girlfriends were like, is this a thing? And none of us have kids. I'm not a like life peer. I don't know. I do Kegels, but keep that shit tight. But
I pee myself.
This is so funny that you guys just said this because I was like, lately when I've been getting off the toilet after peeing and I think I'm done and I stand up and then a little more pee comes out and I'm like, oh, Jesus. And I was like, am I rushing it? What's happening? I said this out loud to two of my girlfriends that have kids and they were like, oh, that's not normal. You should get that checked out. And I was like, really? And I was like, but don't. And they're like, well, unless you had kids, like, no, that's not normal. And then I'm laughing because you're like all these people that don't have kids that are like, oh yeah, peeing a little bit. Yeah, I think they were just like, you should be working as the 20-year-old vagina. No, it shouldn't. I'm still have an aging, bladder. My bladder is still aging, regardless of children coming through.
Because the two of them, were like, this is 100%. They were relieved that one said it. And then she was like, me too. Oh my gosh. And it would make sense that we're not educated that this is like a full out women's issue, because I'm sure no one has researched it.
Nobody's talking about it. It's not that. I just piss myself a little every now and again.
Yeah.
It's totally normal.
Like, how large is your urethra?
It's I feel like this coincides with not giving a fuck, because we're not all ass tight anymore. We're just like, I'm chilling. I don't give a fuck.
There was
get up, piss myself.
The husbands were all sitting around. Like, it wasn't just like me shooting the shit with the girls. This was like my guy friends and their, their partners and stuff. Everyone was around. They all went just like silent. They didn't. You could just see they were like, I didn't need to know that. I'm exceptionally uncomfortable. And I'm like, oh no, we stopped talking about periods and all that shit for you guys back in high school.
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm sharing just as much as I'd share with my girlfriends. If they weren't my friends, no, I wouldn't. But these guys are like my friends too. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, if my girlfriends are hearing this, you're hearing this. We're talking about the things.
We're doing this.
And you have no right to be pissed about it. It's true.
You just went off-roading with the Motovation Podcast, hosted by Laurie Joy Kingwell and myself, Krissy Vann.
And of course, a special thank you to Richelle from True Get Moto.
Whoop, boss it.
Never miss an episode by hitting like or subscribe. Connect with us on Instagram at Motovation Podcast and visit our website at themotovation.com. And in the meantime, full tanks, full throttle.
I think this is good though. It's like healthy, like people will be like, oh my God, I don't floss.
Oh, it's going to be so hard not to laugh to get through this intro.